Jorge Francisco Isidoro Luis Borges Acevedo was born into an educated middle-class family on August 24, 1899. He's short story writer, essayist, poet, and translator, and a key figure in Spanish language and universal literature. Borges later moved with his family to Switzerland in 1914, where he studied at the Collège de Genève. Borges's own father, Jorge Guillermo Borges Haslam, was a lawyer, and wrote the novel El Caudillo in 1921. At age 9, Jorge Luis Borges translated Oscar Wilde's The Happy Prince into Spanish. It was published in a local journal, but Borges' friends thought the real author was his father. Borges would later remark that if I were asked to name the chief event in my life, I should say my father's library. Borges co-founded the journals Prisma, a broadsheet distributed largely by pasting copies to walls in Buenos Aires, and Prau. By the mid-1930s, he began to explore existential questions and fiction. He worked in a style that Argentine critic Ana Maria Barrenechea has called irreality. His first story written after his accident, Pierre Menard, author of The Quixote, came out in May 1939. His short story Amazones was made into a film. Around this time, Borges also began writing screenplays. In 1955, he became director of the Argentine National Library. By the late 1950s he had become completely blind. As his eyesight deteriorated, Borges relied increasingly on his mother's help. When he was not able to read and write anymore, his mother, to whom he had always been close, became his personal secretary. In 1967, Borges married the recently widowed Elsa Astete Millan. The marriage lasted less than 3 years. In April 1986, he married Maria Kadima. On his religious views, Borges declared himself an agnostic, clarifying, "Being an agnostic means all things are possible, even God, even the Holy Trinity. This world is so strange that anything may happen, or may not happen." In 1945, Borges signed a manifesto calling for an end to military rule and the establishment of political liberty and democratic elections. By the 1960s, he had grown more skeptical of democracy. Borges said, "I think a writer's duty is to be a writer, and if he can be a good writer, he is doing his duty. I am a conservative, I hate the communists, I hate the Nazis, I hate the anti-Semites, and so on, but I don't allow these opinions to find their way into my writings." Borges was rooted in the modernism predominant in its early years and was influenced by symbolism. Like Vladimir Nabokov and James Joyce, he combined an interest in his native culture with broader perspectives, also sharing their multilingualism and inventiveness with language. With a few notable exceptions, women are almost entirely absent from Borges' fiction. However, there are some instances in Borges' later writings of romantic love, for example the story Ulrich from the Book of Sand. Some of Borges' works are as follows: Dream Tigers, The Book of Sand, A Universal History of Infamy, The Circular Ruins, Funes the Memorias, The South, 7 Nights, Dr. Brody's Report. Borges died of liver cancer on June 14, 1986, aged 86, in Geneva.